Hey, what's up guys? Brad with the Squared Away Everyday channel, and today we're taking a look at the Black Rhino Arsenal wheels again. I've had these wheels now for about a year and a half, and I did a video like 8 months ago on them, just kind of an initial review, and I've had a bunch of questions since then, so I figured after 1.5 winters and really putting them through their paces overlanding, I would give you guys my honest opinion on them, and if I recommend Black Rhino at all or the Arsenal wheels in general. So if you haven't had a chance yet, please go ahead and like the video and sub to the channel. If you want to, go ahead and check out that first video right up here, and let's get into it. Alright, so Black Rhino wheels. I will say what I said in the first video, and I really do believe these are still the best looking truck or SUV wheels that you can get on the market, hands down. I think they look great, and to be honest with you, I think they've held up pretty good for what I've thrown at them to this point. Now, if you don't know anything about Black Rhino wheels, this company is owned by a race wheel company called TSW, which makes very high quality wheels. And this is just essentially a subsidiary company of TSW, and so you would expect the quality control to trickle down, hopefully. And in my experience, I think that it certainly has. So for me, let's just talk about the paint and how that's held up first, because a lot of people were concerned with that. Now, I don't baby this truck by any means. It's always dirty, but when I do clean it, the wheels pretty much look like brand new. I bought them in a matte black configuration, and when you wash them, they look matte black, and they have the same hue as when I bought them. So the color of the paint has held up very nicely to this point. There's no chipping or flaking of the paint. There's no rusting on the few areas where there is steel in this wheel. Now, it's an aluminum wheel for the most part, but there's a few areas where there's steel. There's no rusting or anything like that, and so the paint has held up very good. Now, you may be able to see in the video, there's a slight little scratch right here, and that is actually a gouge in the aluminum. It's not like, you know, it's smooth, and then there's just a little piece of paint missing. There's an actual gouge in the aluminum, and so it's rough, and that's what's happened there. Is probably a rock or something like that. But other than that, the wheel aesthetically looks very nice still, and the paint and all that stuff has held up really good. Now let's talk about the important part, performance. For me, when I bought the wheel initially, there's a lot of shit going on here, and I was worried about heat dissipation, and we'll talk about that in a second. But other than that, when I bought the wheel, I wasn't really worried about anything else. The wheel, this particular wheel on my 2017 TRD Off-Road Tacoma is a 16x8 wheel, and it's got a -10mm offset, and it's 26 pounds. 26 pounds is very light considering everything going on with this wheel and considering how durable the wheel has been to this point. I've even got air on the front end of this truck and come down pretty hard, not to mention just how hard the trails can be when you're just overlanding or off-roading in general. But I have no cracks on the wheels or anything like that. Structurally, they've held up very nicely, and I really have no complaints. The handling with the -10mm offset has been fine. If anything, I probably have a little bit better turning radius. I think it's been a while since I've had the stock, you know, wheels on there and stuff. Actually, I never really had stock wheels on this. It was SEMA wheels before. But anyway, the turning radius is very good. Nothing that you should be worried about. Other than that, a couple times this summer when I was coming down off of a long trail, maybe I was going a bit too fast and having a little bit too much fun, which means I was probably applying the brakes more than I needed to, and the wheels did get very warm. Now, they didn't get so warm to where I was worried about the structural integrity of the tires or the wheels or the brakes or anything like that, but they did get a lot warmer than, say, if I just had a stock set of wheels on from the TRD Off-Road variants. And how do I know? I checked my brother-in-law's 17-inch wheels on his 4Runner off of the same trail we just came down off of, which, granted, this is a very heavy vehicle, heavier than his, and his wheels were warm. These were quite a bit warmer than those. Those were just warm. Again, nothing to write home about. And the times that I would take it easier coming off of a long hill or just a long descent, let's just say, and I would put it in Tiptronic and then gear down and use the brakes less, it really wasn't noticeable at all. So other than that, the wheels have performed very nicely. They've been very durable, and being as light as they are, you don't you don't really notice much. So great wheel. Again, I'll stand by what I said in the first video. I think they are the best looking wheel aesthetically in terms of the truck and SUV market. And so if you're in the market for a light, durable, and aesthetically pleasing wheel for your whatever truck or SUV, anything like that, look at Black Rhino Wheels. I think they do a really terrific job. If you get a chance, please go ahead and like the video, sub to the channel, and we'll see you in the next one.